Saturday night, January 25th, 2020. First of all, 2020 is just amazing to be here. I think it's going to be a shitty year for everybody, so buck up. Let's enjoy it. Tonight, I've been indulging in vodka, marijuana, whippets, and poppers. And of course, I know you love that, all of you. I do have a secondary video camera going for all the stuff in between. I'm not really keen on trying this, stream it and then edit it live, or upload it live without any editing, but yeah, every once in a while, why not try something new? I've got questions all the time from all of you about me. Really want to know me. And there's some good and bad things to that. Number one, the less you know about me, the more that you can project. And that's what most of you do. You project what you think of me onto me. And it's without really knowing me. For example, once a year, I go up to Alaska and I spend a couple weeks with an Inuit tribe and we hunt baby seals. None of that is true. I think that's funny. I have friends who are Inuit and that I've known since I was a little kid, and I will never stop making jokes about killing baby seals. Of course, I'm not going to do it. I don't hunt for my own food. I do wish I was raised to actually know how to butcher my own meat. That's something I'd still like to learn. Put it on the table. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you would actually love to see that on video too. We are all sick in the head. That's okay with me. So tonight I wrote out a list of just average shit I'd talk about normally. I really do like video games. I play Xbox Live. You can find me under Senator Augustus, all one word. Play a lot of Call of Duty. Lately it's just been all Mass Effect. I started probably about 4 or 5 years old. That would be 1981, 1982, playing Atari. Some of you know it. Other people, that's just like, I saw that in a museum. Donkey Kong, Defender. Yeah, those were the two big ones. Raiders of the Lost Ark game, played that quite a bit. And then it just died off. Video games weren't a big thing. And then all of a sudden, when I was about 10 years old, this would be 87, 88, Nintendo. Now, I finally got my first Nintendo with Super Mario Brothers, Kid Nicky, Contra. There are people older than me that are just like, that's ridiculous. People younger than me like, that's ridiculous because it's so old. And then Super Nintendo, of course. Again, Mario Brothers, Contra. And then what changed everything? Nintendo 64 and GoldenEye. By this time, I was outside of the house, living with a few guys, all going to college, and GoldenEye marathons were just the coolest thing ever. And that's what introduced me to first-person shooters. Love them today. Still play Call of Duty online, like I said. Vodka, pot, whiskey. Fuck yeah. But, yeah, I gotta be responsible. I got shit to do. Even when I'm not writing, researching Senator Mind Control stuff, I usually frequently volunteer for all kinds of crap, man. You gotta spend some time in your community. If your community turns to shit and you don't spend any time in it, it's kind of your fault. Any little thing you can do, I'd encourage that. Whippets. Oh, man. There's a blast from the past and an occasional guilty pleasure. Because it's not meant for adults, it's something that teenagers do. Nitrous oxide. Yeah, got no complaints. Pot, for those of you that don't know, I grew up here in Oregon, and best marijuana in the world. Hands down, always has been. I've been smoking 1993, 1994. It didn't become legal until a few years ago. So a huge chunk of my youth was rebellion, being a quote-unquote drug dealer, when today is more harmless than sodas or shit. There's more people that get worked up over plastic grocery bags and plastic straws than they do marijuana. There's so many good things. Since it's been legalized, the amount of people, especially younger people that didn't have any hope for treatment for all kinds of things, from Tourette's to seizures, things like that. It's been great. I love it. Oregon's been pretty awesome with that stuff since. And I'm really looking forward to when we finally legalize magic mushrooms. Absolutely great for the soul. And that is another thing I really need to address people about, is I absolutely believe that we are physical beings, or we are spiritual beings in a physical body. That's kind of the philosophy behind everything that I have. Especially those of you that have only heard my training, you think I only tear down. I don't. I tear down to build up. And in so many of those, I'd say you can plot my own course growing. I've been all over the fetish spectrum. Top to bottom, left to right. Now we got 314,000 genders to choose from. I'd rather go to Comic-Con. Oh yes, absolutely. Nobody asked me about politics. I'm not going to discuss that. There is no winning scenario where anybody gets to discuss politics anymore. Except for saying, I'm not going to discuss it. Church of Human Hierarchy. That's the one that I get the most questions about. What is it? What does it mean? When did I get the idea? To me, I saw it growing up before I could even put a name to it. Before I even had the hormones to understand other people with hormones. And it really is. It's the basic idea that we all see every day of when a group of people come together, there is just a natural hierarchy. And I hate to say it, but I totally found this out when I was, probably 4 or 5, when parents drag you to hang out with a bunch of other kids. And I always sat back and observed first, and I still do this today. Observe before you interact. But it's just natural. There's no way to stop it. I don't feel bad talking about this because This existed before I did. It'll exist after I do. Um, it's something to be embraced. It's something to try and understand. Um, and we're going to see this for the next, well, until the Homo sapien is wiped out, which, I don't think is too far from here. And I'm not talking about any kind of alarmism. I'm talking about 0 point. I'm talking about when the Homo sapien starts to incorporate things like microchips, computer storage directly into our brain, we're going to stop being Homo sapiens. When we can start gene editing our children, the Homo sapien is going to go the way of the dodo. The first time a celebrity uses a CRISPR to genetically edit their child so that their child has blue skin, 6 arms, and 4 tits, and a dick that's 18 inches long, everybody's going to want to do it. But that will officially be the end of the Homo sapien, and we are right on the edge of that. I really think we don't have much time left for the Homo sapien, but humanity as itself is going to keep going. And remember, we didn't start off as Homo sapiens. Before the Homo sapien, we had Neanderthal, Australopithecus, all kinds of... They were close, we could interbreed, but they weren't genuinely Homo sapiens. I guess overall, I just kind of wanted to get a little bit out there about me and just say, yeah, I'm weird. I don't go for the normal straight line agenda. I hate televised news. Everything on it is a lie. Everything on televised news is a lie. Really, if you want to learn, one of the 2 things I'm really obsessed with, sci-fi and ancient history. Not just ancient history, but American history. For example, the more I study Roman history, I can see American history in that. The more I study American history, I can see its foundations based on Roman history. And then you go all the way back to that, and we still have like 3,000 years of cultured society, written language, etc., that has helped define who we are today. Yep. Childish. I don't smoke cigarettes. I used to. Occasionally I'll smoke a pipe, but I enjoy cigars. A good cigar. Always welcome to send me a good cigar. My thoughts on vaping are, as long as you don't use the stuff with the vitamin E acetate that's getting people sick, that's good. I absolutely hate seeing all kinds of vaping products banned just because of the way they taste. There's grape vape. We got to get that away from the kids. Well, there's been grape cigars for like the last 20 years. Gosh, the original cigars, going all the way back to the Spaniards coming over to Central America, they were filled with chocolate. Yeah, and we want to ban that when I think most of us know, and it's pretty clear, that it was cigarettes that got so many people lung cancer for so many years. It's because they had horrible chemicals in them, just like chewing tobacco. Or if anybody has had the displeasure of ever trying snuff tobacco, don't do it. But again, just horrible chemicals added to it, and it's just because tobacco is just another way to separate people from their money. It's just as bad as sugar, especially as we're finding out. I love to talk about history. I love to talk about culture. I love to find new directions for all of us to go. I love the whole fetish S&M empire that's being built, because that was always there. Only it wasn't ever taken seriously, and there wasn't as much respect in there as there was today. And some people instantly be upset and say, no, I know about the old guard, and there was far more respect and things like that. And I'm more talking about Leave It to Beaver era, where it was okay to smack your wife for talking back to you, beat the shit out of your kids because they didn't get the paper fast enough, that kind of thing. It's just, and people saying that trying to combine the two is absolutely ridiculous. In a way, it definitely is, but it still comes down to here's a lifestyle of a human hierarchy, and one that obviously now we know with respect, with care, with intimacy, with knowing somebody. And that's to me what it all comes down to. It's not so much the physical thing, it's knowing behind my eyes who you are behind yours. And that's one of the greatest things I think that we've learned to accept. Well, since the internet made it mainstream, obviously. Some people would argue Hollywood, but no. No, Hollywood just, it preys off of culture. It reduces it to a 90-minute stereotype, and there is no thought, there is no spirituality behind that. One of my main goals between everything I do, and I believe everybody has seen it, is we are spiritual beings in a physical body. There is a spiritual life out there. There is so much fucking more that we all ignore, and that's our job to explore it. We explore it by exploring nature and by exploring history. And I think most of you do that. You wouldn't be here if you wouldn't. You'd be at one of those shallow sites spending way too much time to be told over and over again to jack off. And I don't need to tell you to jack off. If anything, I need to tell you, take a break while I'm talking. I'm not even going to try, though, because I know my audience. Anyways, I'd like to do this a bit more often. I'm getting requests constantly to do this more often. So, go on ahead. Email me some questions. Maybe sometime even do like a two-way video thing. I'd like to see this niche lifestyle grow into a more mainstream lifestyle. And we've seen that, and it's becoming accepted. But I'm talking about personally. Between you, between me, between friends, between family. That's where we're headed. And people asking me about my long-term goals. Well, again, they're weird. Well, I see the way technology is growing and everything. 20 years from now, I would like to be on one of those Falcon 9s going up there. Hit the moon, hit the Mars, and never fucking come back. Because most people on this planet are idiots and assholes, and I don't want anything to do with them. Last thing I can leave you with is just try and be a better individual. The only sin in life is not accepting who you are. That's it right there. You know, that is sin. Not accepting who you are, being something you are not. You want to be happy? Claim who you are. Be proud of who you are. Whether it's, flying your leather freak flag, or, volunteering at an animal shelter. Do it. Makes the world a better place. And there's nothing wrong with who you are. With the weird, freaky, all the fun things that we get to talk about. Embrace that. Nothing wrong with that. Be happy. That'll make me happy. Thanks.